Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Let's Chat with Tonya Lightbourne. It's Friday, and today we're chatting about as the doorbell rings to Marty's house. We're chatting about raising biracial children. My guest is none other than I love her name, Mardi Elaine Day.
Yes.
I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. I love it. I just love the combination. Like you are definitely using all of your names.
But you'd be surprised, though, that Mardi means Tuesday in French.
Right.
Right. And then day.
Tuesday day.
Right.
The next time I see you, I'm gonna call you Tuesday day.
Feel
Like,
free.
yeah. Okay, awesome. So let's chat with Mardi Elaine Day begins now. So today we're chatting about raising biracial children. Obviously, if your child is biracial, it means that your partner or your husband is male or female, is non-Bahamian.
Right.
In this case, Marty is Bahamian, and so her husband is what we call in the Bahamas an expat. So, Marty, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your husband. Tell us how you met said husband. I feel like this is so exciting.
Um, my husband, we actually met at work. Okay.
At work.
At work. At work. And
That is fun.
yeah, it's even funnier because it started with a brownie.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
A brownie.
A
Okay.
brownie. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about said brownie.
I offered him a brownie. I do not know what possessed me that day to ask him if he wanted a brownie from Starbucks, but bless you,
Uh-huh.
Starbucks. Thank you. He accepted.
Uh-huh.
And it went from there.
Wow, that's
Hmm.
amazing. So how long have you guys been together and then married?
We've been married for 6 years. We've
Mm-hmm.
been together for 12.
Wow. So y'all ain't just whip up and get together. This been a
No.
minute.
Yeah.
Wow. That's almost 15 years. Well, no, that's almost 20 years.
No. 6 years married within those 12 years.
Ah, okay, okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, wow,
Yeah.
y'all been together some time.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And tell us a little bit of I guess we could call them misconceptions surrounding dating an expat or dating someone of another race.
One of the biggest misconception is that Bahamians believe expats are rich. That all expats are rich. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest, most expats, they have a little money, but
Right?
the majority of them escape where they originated from to
Yeah.
escape taxes
Right. Right.
and to get,
Wow.
I would call like a more of a US dollar salary because
Right.
because the Bahamian dollar is on par with the US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That is a misconception. What other misconceptions would you say surround interracial relationships?
One of the other big misconceptions, people believe that a black woman with a white man
Mhm.
automatically makes her a gold digger. Automatically.
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 And so that must mean that when you guys go out,
The
must be
looks,
interesting.
the
Yeah, the
stares,
stares.
the little whispers. Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
How do you deal with that? How does not well you or just any Bahamian woman, how did or a woman if the woman is the expat and the male is Bahamian, like how do you guys handle that?
We just get on with it. When you're in a relationship that is different from what is normal inside your country,
Mm-hmm.
people will tend to look. I have a friend,
Yeah.
she is actually the expat in her relationship. and she gets stares as well. But she said she doesn't get as much stares as me.
Right.
You see, so
Yeah.
society is more accepting of a black man marrying a white woman versus a white man marrying a black woman. Even though we're the more common couple.
Right.
Right.
Wow. That's amazing. And so, because of that, so you're the black woman, you've married outside of your race. How would you say that you're treated because you've chosen to marry a someone outside of your race?
The B word, bougie.
Oh, you're bougie.
I'm bougie.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't, and we, of course, we have a conversation prior to, and one of the things I remember you saying is people tell you all the time, or those closest to you, because not everybody could just, come up to you and chat about or whatever, one of the things that is said is that, well, you don't have to work.
Oh, yes.
You're a woman of leisure. You don't have to work.
You don't have to work. Why are you working? Even, stairs in the office, you don't have to work. He'll look after you.
And you're like, miss, we have bills too. Like,
I like my own money, honey.
right. And the thing is, if you start that way, right? If you started that way, you've always been independent.
Yes. I mean, he asked me when I was pregnant, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to work? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? I mean, I could have said, yeah, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but being from a background where every partner worked in the house, like my parents work, my grandparents work, I was used to that. Yeah. So to take that, that little independence away from me and being more dependent on him, it would have been a little bit of a, an adjustment for me. But I had to do my own thing. I had to make my own money.
Yeah, and the thing is, I almost feel like there are challenges with any any decision that you make. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, some stay-at-home moms feel like, they're not productive enough, even though it's a full-time job. I've had a guest on who said she was mom shamed because she actually married an expat. She's the Bohemian. And she said she made the decision once they got back here to raise her boys. That's just what she wanted to do solely. She wanted to focus on them. And she said one time she remembers going to dinner early on when she came back, and she said she was mom shamed because everybody went around the table and said what they did. And then when it came to her, before she had a chance to speak, they said, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom. And, she said she had to correct them like quick. Hey, I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? So I feel like every decision you make has its challenges. And so you just have to weigh out the pros and cons and kind of go with what you want.
You have to. And because my husband is older, so my husband is 20 years older than me, I had to look at it from my perspective where he's going to retire, in X amount of years. But I still want to work. I need to make up my retirement fund. I need to contribute to that as well as if he's retired, I'll probably be bringing in money to help the household as well,
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, I remember the conversation you and I had prior, again, referencing that, as it relates to why you would marry an older man. And someone said something along the lines of, well, marrying an older man means like he could pass away before you. And nowadays,
I could pass away before him.
Right. You could be here today and gone today. So, like, I mean, let's just kind of marry the person we want to be with, or be with the person we want to be with, regardless of thinking, oh, they're gonna die.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna die at some point. But while we're here, you only have one life. But if you do it just right, once is just enough.
Once is enough.
I know. So tell us a little bit about marrying an older man. Like, yes, he's an expat. But I don't think I've ever had a guest who married older than 10 years. So
Okay.
so the difference in age is 20 years.
20 years.
What's that like? Are they all the
I'll,
same? Does it matter?
I'll be honest, when I told him about the age difference, I didn't even find out about the age difference initially. He
Okay.
withheld it. He said he didn't
Did
want to
he?
say that his age because he felt as if I would have just thought of him as an older man. He told me
Right.
he was like only 15 years older than me. I'm like, okay, that's possible. But then
Right.
we were in conversation with one of our other friends, and then when he
Yeah.
said his birthday, I'm like, dude, you just lied to me like months ago, and I just finding this out. You made me fall in love with you first, you know?
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
That's wow. He was
yeah.
trying to catch you
He
first.
caught me off guard. Yeah,
Wow.
but being with an older guy, they're a little bit more stable, more
Hmm.
mature. They're
Hmm.
settled in their ways, but they're willing to adjust. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we just have a little guest walk in the room. You want
That's
to say
okay.
hi? You want to say hi?
These are informal sessions.
Say
Hi,
hi.
Zayn. Everyone, this
Hi.
is Zayn. How are you?
No, he's gonna run away.
Oh, okay. Well, he had to make his presence felt.
Yes,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zayn is such a cutie.
he is.
Such a cutie. Awesome. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of women look for those traits, right? Especially when it comes to choosing your life partner.
Hmm.
So mm, women tend to go for men that are mature, experienced. They have more going for them.
Hmm.
They're not just trying to figure it out. Because if a two y'all trying to figure it out, that's a recipe for disaster.
It could be. It
Yeah,
could be.
yeah.
Even though he's older, he acts much younger. He's very chilled.
Yeah.
He's very relaxed. He's very
Youthful.
modern. So it isn't
Yeah.
as if, don't expect him to be out there walking with a walking stick. You
No.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, though. That's awesome. I'm glad that we're having this conversation because a lot of women don't talk about it. Like they want a man that has all these attributes, but in terms of finding that or finding this person or even being open to dating an older man, they don't want to go too old, but they don't
Right.
want to go too young.
Right.
And so the challenge with dating an older man, I'm glad you kind of stated what those could be, because who knows, the lady who's watching this may be like, so let me give Ricardo a try,
Why not?
because
Yeah.
he was trying to talk to me, but I was like, he too old. But there are some advantages. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. How did your family feel about you marrying outside of your race?
My family is very liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Very liberal. My mom is, she's awesome. She
Yeah.
accepts most things.
Okay.
So when I told her I'm dating a Brit, she's like, okay.
A what?
A Brit.
A Brit. A Brit.
Right.
Okay.
She's
I
like,
thought you
oh,
said something
she's like,
else.
okay. That's all she said was
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
so,
wow.
but she's used to it because, two of my siblings married outside of our race,
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
guess it's
So
common in
y'all have
our
a melting
household.
pot.
Yeah, so.
That's amazing.
Hmm. And then my grandmother,
Awesome.
she was just over the moon. Oh, a bread. When you come
Really.
from when you come from the islands and you were colonized by the Brits, you view them like,
Right. Superior.
yeah, and older people in
Okay.
particular. Oh, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh yeah, so I'm gonna have a grandson that's gonna look like the queen. I'm like, oh no, grandma, no. Mm-mm.
Wow. So
Yeah.
she probably feels like you achieved something,
Yes.
which is great. I mean, Chris, Chris won the prize.
Thank you. He
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
He
yeah.
did.
Chris won the prize. That's really cool. I don't think a lot of women talk about interracial marriages. In the Bahamas, it's almost like you're expected to marry a Bahamian
Hmm.
or someone of you're expected to marry a Bahamian. When in fact, like the world is so open now. I mean, you go to a restaurant and you're outside of tourists, like you're sitting next to these people and they move here.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer saying, okay, I want to stay in my country. They're like, if a job opportunity presents itself, which is most times how they get here, they are open to moving. And so the Bahamas will eventually become a melting pot. And I think that process has already started, you know. And so your family was happy with the fact that you decided, well, first of all, that you found love, and then you obviously got married, and you guys having an interracial marriage. You guys with you having a baby means that you're gonna produce a biracial child. And tell us some of the challenges that have come along with that. First of all, how did you feel? Because I'm sure growing up, you weren't thinking, oh, I'm gonna marry outside my race. Um, Tell us some of the thoughts that were running through your head just before you would have given birth, like in preparation for giving birth, and then realizing that, wow, this is actually happening.
Um, we did a 3D scan when I was
Mm-hmm.
pregnant. So it
Mm-hmm.
showed all of Zayn's little features, his ears, his nose.
Yeah.
And I gave this scan to Chris. This Chris.
Yeah.
He has your nose. He has your nose. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be an interesting looking little boy there. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's gonna come out a little bit, like that little mulatto color,
Yes. Very
Yeah,
mixed.
very
Like
mixed.
just caramel
Yes,
caramel
caramel.
macchiato.
Yes,
Yes.
with some,
Mm-hmm.
black
Yeah.
curly hair. Yeah, I'm like,
Gold
okay, that's how he's gonna
highlights.
look.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm like, that's how he's gonna look.
Right.
Okay, so he's born. You have to
Uh-huh.
wait a few days. The
For the
color
color to come in.
color never came in.
Still ain't coming.
Ain't coming. No, the color has not come in. No,
Wow.
he is white with
And not
blonde
just white.
curly hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I mean, what can you do? He's here.
I
And
hurt.
this yours.
I'm still hurt though.
And but the thing is, he looks so much like you.
He does.
Oh my god. He's you. Obviously a much lighter version of you with curly hair
And blue eyes. That's about it.
and blue eyes. He looks exactly like you.
Thank you. Please tell Chris that.
Oh, he thinks the opposite? He thinks he
Yeah.
looks just like him?
I don't
No, he
see it,
looks just
Marty.
like
I
you.
don't. He always says, Marty, I don't see it. Everybody else sees it.
Really?
Hmm.
No, he's your spitting image. Whose personality does Zayn have?
Mine's. He is a
So
free
he look like
spirit.
you and he have your personality?
He is a free spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I remember in conversation with you, you said that when you get home from work, like that's it. It's all about Zayn.
Yes.
Nothing. You don't try to do anything else. You don't like nothing. Just focus on the boy.
Focus on Zayn. So, because my husband travels for work a lot, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's an impromptu travel. So, for instance, he called me yesterday at work. Oh, I gotta travel tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
What?
I'm used to it. I'm
Yeah.
used to it. I'm
Yeah.
very much used to it. Like I would see him in
Okay.
the morning and I'd see him like 2 days later or something like that. Right?
Okay.
So Zayn has
Mm-hmm.
always been like my little buddy, my little, my little
Ah,
partner.
okay. Yeah.
So I pick him up from school and he has to put on his favorite song.
Of course.
He has a few.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
On repeat. And imagine that song on repeat if you have to go through a drive-through.
Is it like Coco Melon?
He likes Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Oh my goodness.
And he likes Heartbreak by Enrique Iglesias. Yeah.
So who introduced him to this music?
I'm the guilty party. Yeah, me.
Okay. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, you were probably listening to this music. And then in he comes in the car and it's like, man, this one time I really need to hear this song or these songs.
And he'd be like, repeat, please, mommy, repeat, please.
Are you serious?
And
how old is Zayn now?
Zayn is 4.
Wow. Let me ask you something. Has Zayn, I know they say kids don't know color. Have you gotten any indication that he, like, has he said, "Oh, mommy, I met, or my best friend is I don't know, Justice. My best friend is Justice and he's black." Has he even gone down that road yet?
No,
Has that
he
no.
he hasn't been exposed, I guess, too much to colorism.
Mhm.
But if you
Mhm.
ask him which color he is, so Zane, what color are you?
Mhm.
He would say that
Mhm.
he's peach.
Peach.
He's
Okay.
peach. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I'll ask him, okay, so what color is daddy? Daddy's white or red.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Uh-huh.
So what color is mommy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're brown. I'm brown.
You're brown.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And have
Mhm.
you had that conversation with him as yet? And if not, when do you think you will probably that'll probably happen?
I tried to explain it to him, in particularly
Mm-hmm.
last year when the world was going through this whole racist situation,
With
Black
George
Lives Matter.
Floyd.
So it was just
Yeah.
plastered on the news, and he watches the news with us, right? So he said a little statement
Interesting.
like Black Lives Matter. I'm like, yes, Black Lives matters, but you must
Mm-hmm.
remember all lives do matter. But
Yeah.
of course, you can't explain to him the concept behind Black Lives Matter yet because
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
still too young. But he doesn't see color at all, which is a good thing right now.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is amazing. And have you found the adults that are in his, I guess, in his line of sight, or the people that are around him, have they brought that subject to him yet, or no? Everybody's
No,
pretty,
pretty
no,
much
everybody's even keeled.
pretty even because
Mm-hmm.
when he has play dates, he has a mixture of kids, you know.
Okay, good.
So yeah, when he goes to swimming, another mixture of kids, even though more predominantly black, but still a
Mm-hmm.
little mixture of kids.
Yeah.
Even when he does football, a mixture of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I try
Okay,
not to
great.
put him in a all white club, you know.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
want him to see color and
Right.
differentiate that there is color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is extremely important. And similarly, so for me, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she went to an all black school. And so one of the things outside of, academics and wanting her to have more critical thinking skills, and be a bit more creative, we decided to put her in an international school. And I mean, initially our thought was, well, my thought was, you know, let her go to the big red machine. Listen, she was not interested. She was like, "No, mommy, I don't want to go there." What happened? So you don't want to follow in my foot? No, mommy, I don't want to go there. Anyway, shout out to the big red machine because Marty and I
Yes,
went
our
there.
alma mater.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Yeah, so she wasn't interested, but I said all that to say, like, you want to expose your kids
Mm-hmm.
because this is it. I mean, they go off to school and they're going to be exposed. I mean, just sitting at their desks, the internet alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Facebook, all these social media apps, you're exposed, and you don't have to know these people. You're just social, right? Because that's what it is. It's social media, and so you meet people from all over the world, all different races, and so like, why not start early? You know what I mean? So that's another good point. Um, I know that Zayn is involved in quite a bit of activities, burn off some of that energy.
It doesn't work
What's
though.
been, say it again?
It doesn't work.
Oh, well, yeah, I can't even that boy energy. I don't
It's
think I'm
different.
ready, which is why I have two girls. I think the Lord said, you know what? Just let me give you what I think you can handle. With him attending like events or being a part of clubs and activities, etc., what's been some of the feedback
You mean from the other
from
moms?
parents?
Oh,
Yes, from the other moms.
they stare. They love to stare. And then you would have a few little cheeky ones, be like, you can see they inch closer to see whether or not he's gonna call me mommy. Trying to figure out,
Yeah.
okay, is she the maid? Is she the nanny?
Is she the maid?
Yes. Or is she the, like, you know, they always try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no one's come out and said anything related to that. Not in so many words.
Not
They're
in
not
so
gonna call
many
you the maid.
words, but you
Yeah.
know,
The innuendo.
yeah, like, oh, that's such a cute little boy. You know, like, where's his
Like,
mommy? Like,
oh, he
I'm his
can't be
mommy.
yours.
I'm his
Right.
mom. Yeah, you know.
And so are they surprised when you've said, or Zayn says, mommy, mommy, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, when he says mommy, you could see like their whole facial expression, it changes like, okay, you're not the maid, so obviously you married a white dude or you with a white dude or, you know. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And then they look for the ring.
Oh,
They look for the ring.
because you have to be married.
I have to be married.
Yeah.
I have to be married.
Yeah.
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 You can't make this up.
No.
So initially, I would assume that you felt some kind of way about this. Like you had to be upset just as a mom. Like forget being a woman. Like you have to at some point I'm sure it bothered you.
In the beginning, it bothered me, and
Mm-hmm.
you just let it just, you know, flow off. Just flow off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Yeah.
don't need that in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the negativity,
Yeah.
all
Because
the
you can't change
comments.
it. I cannot change
Yeah.
my circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what you wanted. I mean,
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
hello. You see
Yeah.
my
The
little white, little sexy
unsolicited
husband?
comments. Right, right. The unsolicited comments, I'm sure, like even if they're not in your face, you can definitely see when people are saying things or body language or again, if Zayn comes running to you, it's like, oh, so that is his mom.
Like when he comes running to me on the soccer field and he's like, Mommy,
Yeah.
Mommy, water break. And you could just see the like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. You see it. You see it. But then
Wow.
he's so much exposed to like mixed race couples.
Yeah.
Like on a Friday we would go out to our, my husband's favorite little spot, and you would be surprised at how many
Mm-hmm.
couples are there mixed race with,
Yeah.
biracial children.
So do you feel then that, or has it prompted you to just stay within that circle?
I can't stay within that circle because I was not brought up in that circle.
Right.
Right. So
Okay.
I have to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that there's a balance of,
Yeah.
yeah, not only for myself but also for Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
because he would go to my mom, and my mom's black and Chris's
Yeah.
mom is white, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't have him just like halfway in the middle. He has to be exposed to
Agreed.
both. Yeah.
Agreed. Awesome. Um, we're gonna talk about some of the do's and don'ts when meeting a mom and her biracial child. And
Don't
go.
do not ask me if I'm the maid. Okay. Do not ask him where's his mommy, because his mommy's right here. Do
Hi.
not touch his hair. Do not touch his hair. Do not touch his hair. He wants to come again.
Yes.
Hi, Zayn. You're back.
I want a Hot Wheels.
You want your Hot Wheels? You asked Daddy for your Hot Wheels?
Yes.
Go get your Hot Wheels then.
Zayn
That's his
is the
latest thing is
first
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Zayn is the first child who's made his debut on this season. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay.
Way to go,
You take
Zayn.
that. Yeah. Listen, and that's why these are informal sessions, because the kids make an appearance too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do not ask if mom is the maid.
Right.
Do not ask where mommy is when clearly somebody who's responsible for him is standing right there.
Right.
Don't touch the hair.
Right. I'll give you an example. We were going through
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Customs immigration here, right?
Yeah.
Me and
Mm-hmm.
Chris and Zayn. The guy looks at my passport. This was before I changed my name, before I hyphenated my name. So I was
Okay.
just Cunningham, so it was just Mardi Cunningham. So
Okay.
he was like, so is this your son? I'm like, yes, this is my son. Then he asks Chris, is this our son? Yes, that's our son.
Yeah. But I mean, if he was going to lie about it, he'd lie about it.
I guess he was trying to make sure, but Chris was there. But I could see if you asked it, if it was only me, you would probably be thinking like, kidnapping this child or something.
Yeah, well, you know what? And so to that point, they encounter a lot.
Yeah.
So we're speaking as just, civilians.
Yeah.
We're not in law enforcement, we're not
No.
uniformed. We don't see those serious scenarios on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing, they're doing their job.
Yeah, he was.
But really? Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those comments though about, or the things that you just shouldn't do, like the do's and don'ts, like, or the don'ts, I should say. Yeah, no.
Yeah. You don't do it. But it's normal because people are curious.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't look fully mixed.
Yeah.
They're even more curious as to why I'm holding this little boy's hand and taking him to soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what, as far as support goes for interracial marriages, like, what do you, for those women who have possibly just gotten married, and because you can obviously date, and in any relationship, once you've gotten married, it takes it to another level. I assume that adding race to the mix takes it even up an echelon. So what advice would you give to interracial couples, or interracial couples that are married, in terms of, not paying attention to too much noise in the marketplace, the stares, etc., etc.? What advice would you give to them?
I would say to them, be true to yourself. You love who you
Mm-hmm.
love and don't regret that you love that person. If you're a woman, see if you could seek other women in the, similar situations like you, to ask them questions, to be friends with them.
Yeah.
You have to. You need a support group.
Mom, I can take a Hot Wheels
Ask,
back
ask Daddy for your Hot Wheels.
from the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, go get your Hot Wheels from Daddy. He has them. Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm. Hot Wheels. Here we go.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah. So because I assume, like, even as a Black woman, as a Black Bahamian woman, I assume like it can be somewhat of a shocker, even though you would have had some experience while dating. So now we are married, like, so it's official, you know. So I assume that it is somewhat of a shocker. Were you shocked, or did you feel like you had to get acclimatized to that whole situation?
It's shocking at first because you're
Mm-hmm.
you're more conscious of people staring at you when you go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll always be conscious of that. So when you walk into a restaurant, you'll see somebody just stare, even if it's just quick, right? But I'll be honest with you, I get more stares here than I do when I go away.
Really?
Yeah.
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 The stares that are abroad, I guess, everybody's, they expect to see people of the same race or same color, even though the world has changed so much. But here, I understand why.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we're still getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
We're still getting used to it. We do have white Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
but I think it's more when you're with a white expat.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's how things change. And would you say that, I guess, early, like in your dating years, would you say that you said specifically, like, this is, I'm definitely going to marry a Bahamian? Would you say that, or were you open?
If you were to ask me the type of guy I would have married,
Yeah.
it would have been my milk chocolate, sort of thick, tallish Bahamian guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
then Chris came
I wasn't
along.
expecting it. I mean, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It really just happened. You know, there are
Yeah.
some females who do go out there. They do seek to marry an expat. Some of them, that's all they have in their mind.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
want. That's what I
yeah,
want.
yeah. That's what they want. I was not expecting it. No.
Yeah. That's interesting because but I guess it's this is what it is and love finds you like I mean you can't necessarily change who you love. I mean you can, but you could deny it, but I mean, you know. So I think one of the things we said that we would talk about as well is giving advice on dating an expat.
Be prepared to gain weight, ladies.
Oh,
They like appetizers and main course plus dessert. So be prepared to gain weight. Okay? And you will become a wine connoisseur. I promise you. Wine. Yeah. Yeah, my husband just looked at me like, yeah.
I love it. So then that means my description of you was perfect. Yeah, I imagine like that's what it is. You know what I wanted to reference as well, like in terms of enrolling Zayn in school, what was that process like for you?
It was a rough process
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want him to go to a predominantly black school. I didn't want him to be the only like white boy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I searched for school.
Mm-hmm.
I searched for a school
Yeah.
that was like a little bit mixed.
Okay. We're gonna watch this replay and be like, I know he didn't do that. And it's okay. Yeah. So you search for schools
Yeah, so I
and you
searched for
didn't want him to
schools.
necessarily, yeah.
Yeah, that was the main goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And obviously you settled on one that you were comfortable with.
Oh yeah, the school is really good. They have a mix of little kids from different
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I really like that. And if I remember correctly, I think that I think I'm familiar with the school. And they have a pretty good program
They do.
because I've they produce really good students that go on to primary school and then or we call it big school, primary school and then on to high school. But I think their foundation is really good. I remember one thing that you also said during our conversation was that in raising a biracial child is to make sure that they know their identity and introduce both cultures. So how do you reinforce that with Zayn and with Chris?
Well, Zayn loves macaroni and curry chicken.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So
Mm-hmm.
that obviously involves including that involves a lot of cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You find cooking helps besides because you can always travel, right? But cooking like tends to introduce the kids to another culture.
Yes. Cooking, you have to, when you're in a, different relationship, you have to learn how to cook like for them. So my husband
Yeah.
likes what? Eggs Benedict. Little salmon eggs Benedict. So you cook that. But then don't worry, buddy, next day you having some corned beef and grits. So you have to learn
Wow.
to switch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And would you say were you always like a chef? You're the cook in the
I'm the cook.
relationship?
Yeah, I'm the cook.
You're the cook.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you've had to I guess you had to make it almost your mission to kind of learn the culture and just basically become one with it, eh?
Yeah, you learn it and then Google is your best friend.
Google is your best
Yeah,
friend.
Google is your best
Yeah,
friend. Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Because back in the day, we had encyclopedias. I
Right.
mean, I don't know if I'm telling my age. But back in the day, we had encyclopedias. Now these kids, they can search anything online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can
Yeah,
search
and you
anything
try to
online.
find like shows, British shows for him to watch. I mean, it
Oh
was
yeah.
popular when it's Peppa Pig.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry, I've been
Pepper,
called
Pepper
naughty
Lil.
mommy. You're a naughty mommy. I've been,
Yeah.
been called that before. Yeah.
Pepper Lil rude though.
Oh, she rude. She
Yeah.
rude, rude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's rude.
she rude, rude.
How do you find time for yourself? What do you do? And like what do you find me? What do you do in your me time?
Me time.
Hmm.
Oh, spa day would be awesome. Like a facial. I love facials. Love
Yeah.
facials. Yes. Or just
Awesome.
hanging out with the girls. Brunch, dinner, drinks, something like that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And what about in terms of um you and Chris? Like how do you guys find time and how important is that to you
Date
both?
night. It's very
Yeah.
important that we have date nights.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Chris schedule tends to differ from week to week. So
Yeah.
we might even have like planned a date night for Saturday. Then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh well, I gotta go away Saturday." So then be
Right.
like, "Okay, let's scratch that. Let's try to do something at home."
Yeah.
Try yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you have to adjust, but you have
Yeah,
to
for
plan.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, COVID taught us that, right? Like you
Mhm.
have to learn how to adjust, you have to learn how to pivot. It's not going to be a smooth ride all the time. It could be bumpy. Let's not do it Saturday, let's do it Wednesday
Right.
because it's the
Yeah.
day before I go away, like,
Yeah.
all
And
those
hopefully
things.
the babysitter's free. Yeah.
And the babysitter because whew, those babysitters, they be the plug.
Oh, we had our first trip together without Zayn, like recently to Turks.
So good.
I can't wait to go again.
So good.
I'll be
I
honest,
said,
is he okay? Is he
yeah,
okay?
of
But
course.
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We were like teenagers. We were like teenagers. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is good." Because initially I was worried, but I'm like, "This is good. This is necessary."
The silence,
Because you can just be going, 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 going.
the silence. It was like, it's quiet. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh boy. So would you consider that something impulsive that you guys did, or did you plan it?
That was very impulsive.
Really?
Really impulsive.
Yeah.
Chris had to go to Turks for work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
so this is like the Wednesday. He's singing a song.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. It was the Wednesday, and he's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Why not?" So I had to
Yeah.
arrange a babysitter. I had to get my COVID test. I had to do so many
Mm-hmm.
things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to put food in the house too, and I had to tell
But
the
I go in.
school. I had to tell the school because she dropped in
Yeah.
the school. So I had a
Yes.
whole. It was just quick. That was
Yeah.
impulsive. It was
That's
fun.
amazing though.
Hint, hint, hint,
And
Chris.
wink,
Hint,
wink.
hint, hint.
Let's go again. Let's do this again. Oh my goodness. Is there a moment or event since having Zayn that kind of radically changed the way that you think about raising kids?
My mom was more of a. She's more of a. She's not an emotional mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't hear "I love you" a lot,
Okay.
or get hugs a lot. But
Yeah.
I said that was one thing I was definitely not going to do.
Right.
So he gets his hugs. He gets, "Oh, I love you,
Mm-hmm.
Zayn." He gets all of that
Yeah.
nice
Oh.
warmth. Now, I'm not saying that my
Yeah.
mom didn't provide that. She did, but I don't
No, of
think.
course.
She didn't know how to probably express it the way she wanted to express it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have their own way of saying things
Yeah.
or showing, right?
Yeah.
So it may not be the way that we do it now, but it was definitely there. Like
Right.
she didn't hate you,
Right.
but they kind of express things in their own way, which is their learned behavior. Because if they were not taught that, then how can they express it,
Right.
So no, I totally understand.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. So when we know better, we do better.
Right. And I'm more of a laid back mom because I would cook Zayn breakfast. He would not touch it for about an hour and a half. But I'm not, especially on the weekends. I'm not gonna force it on the weekends. I'm gonna just let them have a little bit of fun on the weekends.
Yeah.
It's having fun now.
Right. Speaking of fun.
Mhm.
Oh wow. Yeah, because our parents would have forced us to eat that.
Yeah.
They'd been like, "You're not leaving this table until you eat your food."
Right. Right.
Yeah,
But I'm totally
yeah. But
different. You could eat it when you're ready. That's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what happens is they come back when they're hungry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But our parents were taught, you better eat this food. You're
Right.
not wasting this food because money don't grow on trees.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Is there anything you would like to leave with any moms, whether married or single, of kids that are biracial, products of an interracial relationships? Is there any words of advice or words of wisdom that you would like to leave with them for anyone that's watching the live session or the replay?
Um, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. You know you're a good mom. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody discourage you from showing, love to your kids, because in a, you tend to be like, oh, I shouldn't hug him because people are gonna think funny or something like that. No, don't do that. Be true
Yeah,
to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not
Yeah,
it's not
because
easy. It's not easy. But
mm-hmm,
look for, as I said, look for other females who are in similar situations like yourself. Become
mm-hmm,
friends with them. You might
mm-hmm.
find out that y'all have more in common than anything else.
You're
But
right.
do
You're
not,
right.
and also do not push your other family and your other friends aside. Even though you have this little niche,
Yeah.
yeah, still be inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the only
Be
way
all
other people would
inclusive.
understand it.
Yeah, and your child needs that as well.
Right.
Yeah, your child, as he asks you to help him.
He's saying, "Help me."
I heard him. Oh my goodness,
What
Marty,
is
this has
it?
been so much fun. This has been so much fun. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about it because I don't think anybody does, you know.
No.
And you just see the moms that walk on by, whether it's in school or the food store, and you just think, wow, I know I'm a mom. I'm a mom, and my kids are Bahamian, or my kids are of the same race. I wonder what challenges she's encountered, but because nobody talks about it,
Nobody
we just
talks
think
about it.
everybody's just
Yeah.
fine, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Nobody talks about it. I mean, we will get our, slack, I remember
yeah,
I told you before when we spoke that, somebody came up to me and said, well, I know why you don't want to have another child, because you're scared how the second one will look, you know?
I got to cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
did you slash their tires? Oh my gosh, I pack your patience, eh?
Well, I'm like,
Okay.
okay, so you know me better than my doctors know me. So.
Wow, I just want us to be more kind.
Females need to be more kind to each other. We do not know
Yeah.
what another woman is going through. We don't know. We
No,
only see her
no.
smiling facade. She
Yeah.
might be going through test after test and
Mm-hmm.
trials and tribulations. She might
Yeah.
just want you to just say hi, just a little,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's amazing, it's amazing, sorry to cut you off. It's amazing how just a simple word or a thought like, oh Marty, I love your top, or wow, my son does that too, or you know what I mean, could spark a whole conversation and you don't know what that may have done for her. She might have been
Right.
having a crappy day, you
Yeah.
know, or she might have just had, who knows, like an argument about something just as simple as the biracial child, like she might have experienced like some racial profiling. I mean, you just never know,
You
right?
never know.
um and so it's not easy having whatever your regular situation is, so
Yeah.
imagine the added pressure of
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you a little joke about Zayn. So
mm-hmm,
Chris was away, and we were going out. He said, Zayn, we're going out,
mm-hmm.
right? So he says, hurry, Mommy said, I'm hurrying up. I said, all I need to do is just put on my hair. he went into the room and he's like, "Here, mommy, here's your ear."
Out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is real world. No pretentiousness here. This
No.
is the real world.
No.
Well, if you wanted him to come with you, if you wanted him to accompany you, come, Pew, come. Let me help you expedite this process because
Yeah,
you
you're
look like
taking
you're
too long,
taking
mommy. Let's
long.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What a time.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for allowing us to invade your space for 51 minutes. This has been actually much more fun than I mean, how many jokes we had? Because it's one thing talking ahead of the session, but then when you go live, it's always, it's always interesting to see what the chemistry is going to be like. But this has been fun, and
It
I'm
has.
hoping that anyone who's watching it, maybe not necessarily experiencing it, but may know a friend or a family member that is experiencing something similar, that they've gotten some insight.
Mommy.
So thank you for sharing.
Thank you too for having us.
And yes, no problem. And for Zayn making his appearance.
Whoopsie. No, he wants the phone.
Oh gosh. So we're gonna let Zayn have the phone. Thank you so much, Marty. This has
Thank
been
you too.
awesome. Yeah, take care.
Okay, bye. Say bye.
All right, bye, bye, Zayn. Take care.